Everyone, how's it all going? I really hope you enjoyed my last lore video where I really talked about, um, some of the um, disparate and sparse lore of individual champions and their local stories and how it ties together with the wider campaign map. So if you remember this, I talked about how different champions come together, how they fought each other, how they betrayed each other, and how the story of Siroth's invasion from both the east through demon forces and in the north through the betrayal of Werlim fights with Arbiter and her forces. And it's really exciting. And one of the things that's really funny that's pointed out by other people is that the champions in high command tend not to be very good champions in the game, such as Werlim, Mortu. I mean, Mortu is pretty strong, but it's the soldier champions that are actually really, really strong. And actually, there are some really interesting battles where really strong forces get defeated by much weaker forces like Suzu and Kato. And it's really, really cool. Today, we're going to go along that theme and talk about the armies of Lumea, goddess of light, and Siroth, god of darkness, and what kind of armies they've assembled and who's going to win. Is Arbiter going to win? Right? That's the key question. So if we look at the forces, this is how they're hierarchied. Arbiter is the defender of Teleria. She represents Lumea and the goddess of light. She used to be a really powerful goddess or demigoddess herself, but then she descended into a mortal champion, so you can get her from a shard, and she now acts more of a recruiter, right? She doesn't have amazing powers herself. One of the earliest champions she recruited was Werlim. He is a gentle frost giant that defended the north against Siroth. But unfortunately, over too many battles and too many wounds and losses, he became disillusioned and he converted to Siroth. And he now leads the monster forces of the north. Arbiter had to get Stag Knight to help her and Sonic in battling Werlim. Werlim is supported by a prince of the demon forces, possibly Prince Kaimar, and he was also able to defeat Sonic's adventure party, which featured Mountain King, Liz, Princess of Aravia, Elhain, and Athel. And he was able to convert both Elhain and Athel into dark versions or resurrected undead versions. He is also supported by Ray. Ray is an adventurer seeking frost magic that wandered from Durham Forest in the south, where the Dark Elves are, into the north, seeking that kind of dark magic. So William is obviously an extremely competent commander because we know Kaimar lost actually to Pixnil. So William alone was able to pretty much defeat a very strong party formed of Sonic, Mountain King, Liz, Elhain, and Athel. So that's really, really impressive, right? Arbiter really lost out on that. Not being able to defeat William because William knows her tactics, being a former friend, really is a huge loss. And I think they eventually fought to a draw on the sacred lake that's able to cleanse champions. In the east and also to the northeast, Siroth's demon forces are commanded by Mortu. Mortu is a commander, he's a demon commander. He is supported by his lieutenants. Duchess is his right-hand lieutenant. She is one of the strongest support champions in this game. And he is further supported by Countess Lix. She is a military commander and mistress of the plague. She is the arch rival to Astrolon, who is the military commander for Lumea's forces. So Countess Lix and Astrolon fought for thousands of years to a draw, and eventually Countess Lix surrendered. So Astrolon won that long and I would say quite, not exactly a victory, but eventually victorious against Countess Lix. Pixnil is one of the strongest champions in the lore, and she guards the frozen north against all other incursions. But to the east, the demon forces are more or less untroubled. They can expand quite easily out of Brimstone Path. through Kratraxa and Ixlimor. These are both rulers of different demon planes. One is of one demon plane, the other one's a hellfire plane. And they have recruited extremely powerful elementals and aliens, both out of Telarian world, from extraterrestrial worlds. These include Candrophon, an ancient alien hunter that hunts Teleria for fun, as well as the brothers of Fire and Void, which is Drex and Inithwe. They have also corrupted many former mages and wizards of Arbiter. This includes a white wizard who is now only known as Badal. Badal now corrupts further other mages, including Grau, Elegaeus, Queen Eva, the blood mage Lydia, all former allies of Arbiter now corrupted and betrayed Arbiter. Towards the north of northern areas of the eastern provinces, Susan Catone is an undead mage that leads the barbarian forces to attack the Dragon Shrine. He successfully defeated Krisk and Skull-Lord, overtook the shrine for the demon forces to summon a demon dragon, and enslave the Lizardmen. To the west, Hegemon, who again is a former Bannerlord champion, now wages a guerrilla warfare on the border between Kerok and Aravia. And it took the combined forces of both Kerok Knights, Aravian elves, and the Sacred Order, such as forces from Roshad Tower and Astrolon, to eradicate Hegemon. To the west, Arbiter is supported by the Sacred Order under Astrolon and Roshad Tower, as well as ancient tribes in the west of Kerok under Elder Skark. She has also managed to recruit in the east powerful orc forces. So these two, Brago and Gohak, united all the orc forces, and Arbiter was able to recruit them, not easily. So Arbiter is able to control extremely strong forces to the southeast under the orcs, as well as having very strong allies to the west through Kerok, the Bannerlords, and the Sacred Order, which roams across the map. But in the north and in the east, she suffers heavy losses. Sir Nick was unable to prevent William. Stag Knight fought a draw with William. Pixnil guards the furthest northern regions, where no one's interested anyway. And in the east, Arbiter almost has no forces. Arbiter also goes around the map and recruits individual champions such as Lavia, Belenor, Folly, and they also serve their own purposes. But they are very little match, in my opinion, to the combined demon forces and undead forces here. The area of stronghold that Arbiter has been able to maintain in the north is the Dwarven kind of fortresses of Mountain of Despair. There, Mountain King leads the forces of Molly, Trunda, Brogni, and Tormi. This is an extremely strong lineup against the demon forces, but they're surrounded. They have no allies around them. The elves and the dark elves are embroidered in their own kind of civil war and are not really interested in fighting out this wider conflict between light and darkness, even though they represent, to some degree, light and darkness. So, in my opinion, Arbiter is having a hard time winning against demon forces. These champions, if we put them in arena, are far more powerful than the champions displayed over here, right? The Dwarven forces are obviously very strong. Dwarf champions are always really strong. But apart from possibly Lysandra here, there's nothing else going on here, right? So these champions are really, really strong. They also have Hegemon and Undead and Dark Elf champions here. So I would say Arbiter is definitely going to lose this. But then again, it's up for Siroth to invade Teleria, right? Teleria currently is in the control of Arbiter. So the initiative has to be taken by Siroth's forces, right? If nothing happens, by definition, Arbiter wins. So therefore, the onus is on Siroth to attack, but he has the advantage definitely in terms of champions. Let me know what you think, and I hope you found that interesting.